I hope he doesn't get the sickness.
My boy Kurt is a stay-at-hhome dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home Disney dad. Moving on to the Germany Pavilion. Now, the official Disney website says the architecture reflects a diverse cross-section of German regions, from a replica of the medieval castle to the fairy tale Bavarian-style buildings. The clock tower features a glockenspiel that chimes a special melody on the hour. Miniature German village houses 3 model trains to guests' delight. My favorite memory of the Germany Pavilion, possibly my favorite memory of all my times at Epcot, was in 2017 when we dragged my parents along with us to Disney World. Obviously, I knew they'd have fun, but my mom is pretty quiet and reserved and doesn't like crowds and was completely out of her element the entire time at Disney World. However, being of German descent, when we arrived at the Germany Pavilion, the German band were in full effect, whipping the crowd into a frenzy, and my mother broke into a rare, wide-eyed smile and began German dancing all by herself. Something I didn't even know she knew how to do. There she is, my mom, just cutting a rug in the middle of Disney World with everyone watching and cheering, and honestly, having the most fun I think I've ever seen her have. That's a very warm memory and one of those details that makes Disney World amazing and that you can't explain to someone who has never been, has no desire to go, because it's for kids. Whatever. Pre-COVID, you could meet Snow White here at the Germany Pavilion. Not sure if you can now. It would make sense. Snow White, however, I've already reviewed, so time to let another German princess shine. Rapunzel is a German fairy tale recorded by the Brothers Grimm and retold by Disney in 2010. This movie has been huge in our house. Rapunzel is my daughter's favorite princess by a mile. And I've used the movie Tangled as a babysitter many times, but I've never sat down and watched it with her. So this was fun. This was my first time watching Tangled and my daughter's like 3,000th time. Once again, not on VHS, so I'm back to Disney+. The journey through Epcot World Showcase is allowing me to watch these newer movies, and I'm loving every second of this. Okay, Tangled! This is the story of how I died. That's a starting right there. We meet Flynn, and even his wanted poster is smoldering. We start with a recap. There's a magic golden flower. It could heal the sick. There was a kingdom. The queen was about to have a baby, but she had complications. She's about to die. The townspeople searched for this golden flower to save her, but Mother Gothel kept it hidden for herself so she could use its magical powers to stay young. She sings a song and stays young. The townspeople find the flower, however, and the queen lives. Now there's a Disney swerve. Mom lives. Baby girl is born. The king and queen release a paper lantern into the sky. Mother Gothel broke into the castle and stole the child. Deep in the forest, in a tower, Gothel raised her as her own, because now the magic girl keeps her young. This is sad. She won't let Rapunzel leave because the outside world is cold and uncaring, and she's not wrong. Every year on her birthday, though, the king and queen release thousands of paper lanterns into the sky in hopes of finding their missing daughter, Rapunzel. Great intro. Time moves on. We meet teenage Rapunzel and Pascal. We break into a much-needed musical break. This movie is already awesome. Rapunzel is pretty happy going through her daily routine of 24/7 confinement, which makes me happy because child abuse is something I get properly compartmentalized since becoming a dad. The song When Will My Life Begin sounds current. The end of the song, it's now that she's older, mother might let her go, is pretty depressing. This animation is money though. Elsewhere, Flynn and his men are breaking into a castle. Flynn says, I could get used to a view like this. Hold on. Okay, I'm used to it. Thumbs up for that line. They rob the joint and run away with the crown. Rapunzel is kind of a simpleton, and it's pretty good. She's going to ask her mom today. She's pumped. She lets down her hair. Mother grabs it. Rapunzel brings her back up. Great animation again. She's all passive-aggressive with Rapunzel. She asks Rapunzel to sing, and Rapunzel does, and her hair glows. Rapunzel tells her mom, tomorrow's my birthday. I'm turning 18. I want to see the floating lights. I think this movie is clicking with me, because Rapunzel wears purple and the lizard is green. And as an adult, I now realize everything I loved as a kid was green and purple. Right? Rapunzel notices the lights only soar on her birthday and wants to go figure out why. Now, Gothel sings a song about how Mother knows best and she should stay locked in the tower where it's safe. Again, the animation is up here with Frozen and Coco, just next level stuff. And keep in mind, I'm watching this on a standard def TV. Then it gets real, and her mom looks her straight in the eyes and says, "Never ask to leave the tower ever again." Ugh. I like the look of the tower. It's pretty epic. The horseback police are chasing Flynn and his henchmen. He backstabs his own henchman and escapes with the stolen goods. Ryder knocks a soldier off his horse and tries to take the horse, but the horse is going nuts, trying to buck him off, and Ryder loses the satchel with the crown in it. Both the horse and Flynn end up going over a cliff. Animation during the action scenes is off the charts as usual. I can't say enough about the animation of this movie, I'm sorry. Flynn recovers, goes through this hidden cave and comes into a clearing with Rapunzel's tower. He scales it, gets inside, and immediately gets knocked out by Rapunzel with a frying pan. Awesome. This is good stuff. Rapunzel looks at her unconscious man and is like, alright. But then an eye pops open and she bashes him again and stuffs him in her closet. She gets all cocky and tries to spin her frying pan on her finger and clocks herself in the side of the head. That was a nice little ad. She goes through a satchel and finds the stolen crown, but then Gothel shows up. Rapunzel panics, lifts her up. She tries telling her mom about the dude she has locked in her closet, like the knocked out guy, but mom keeps interrupting her, and Rapunzel is starting to get annoyed, and her mom snaps and says, "Enough! You are not leaving this tower ever!" Rapunzel's like, all right, pivot. She asks for some special paint. That's a 3-day journey. She says she thought that was a better birthday ask than to see the lights, and mom's like, all right. She takes the bait. She's like, hey, I'll get you the stupid paints. I'll be gone for 3 days. Mother leaves. She opens the door and Ryder falls out on his unconscious face. All good stuff. She ties him to a chair with her own hair, and Pascal slaps him awake. It's interrogation time. She says she knows why he's here. I'm very curious to see what she thinks he wants in this situation. He tries to win her over with his smolder. He asks where the satchel is. She says she hid it and he'll never find it. He does a quick look around the room and says, "It's in that pot, isn't it?" And she cranks him with the frying pan again. Oh, she thinks he wants her hair. Okay, that's much less dark than what I was thinking. She asks him about the stars. He says, the lanterns they do for the princess. She says tomorrow he's going to take her to see the lanterns, and when he returns her safely, she'll give him the satchel. You know, I'm watching this and I'm starting to think this is actually more of a fairy tale for dudes. So let me get this straight. I have to take you on a romantic date, and then you'll give me the satchel with the crown. He tries to smolder her and it doesn't work because she's still kind of a child, and I really like that dynamic. Flynn can usually manipulate women because of his good looks, but it doesn't work with Rapunzel because she has 0 life experience. That's really fun. Rapunzel lowers herself from the tower with Flynn and has a pause before she steps onto the grass for the first time, and this moment has some weight. Love the small details. She runs through the forest and we get the sound of music shot. And the colors of this movie are phenomenal. Montage of her losing her mind and running around happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad while Ryder stands around. Great stuff. He finally says, "I can't help but notice you seem to be at war with yourself." We see the horse that went over the cliff and it's alive and it's sniffing around the forest, and it sees Flynn's wanted poster, and the animation of the horse squinting at it made me laugh out loud. Mother Gothel sees the palace horse and is like, "Where's the rider?" Oh no! She panics. She runs back to the castle, takes the hidden way passageway up the middle, and this is another great memory. Last time we took the kids to Disney World, we got it early enough to hit Disney Springs the first night, and our daughter found this Rapunzel playset, but she didn't have enough birthday money for it, and before we could say, "No, don't worry, Mom and Dad will pay for the rest as long as you remember to listen to us and stay close to us on this trip," you know, play that card, the usual parent stuff. Before we could even have that conversation with her, my son jumped in and said he'd pay for the rest so she could buy it, and I have never seen her be happier and be so in love with her brother. 2 years later, it remains one of her favorite toys, and she hasn't lost a single piece. And look at these pieces. Look at Pascal. She was 4 when she got this. She still keeps this thing in perfect condition. Gothel finds the stolen crown and the wanted poster for Flynn. She's irate. Flynn takes Rapunzel to a bar, and she's still clutching her frying pan. That's funny. This bar is terrifying. It's all unkempt men, and she's scared. And Flynn's like, well, maybe we should get you home then. But his plan to scare her back home backfires because the ogres see the wanted poster of Flynn, and everyone in the bar fights each other to be the one who catches Flynn and gets the reward. Rapunzel yells and tells them to all to stop fighting and explains her situation, and ends with, "Haven't any of you ever had a dream?" One scary dude says he has a dream, and he breaks into a show tune and sings and dances, and everyone else in the bar slowly joins in. Gothel arrives at the bar, and even the exterior of the bar has a purple hue against the lush green forest. I still don't know why, but green and purple together just work for me on some weird level, apparently. All these burly men take turns singing their dreams, then ask Ryder what his dream is, and he says he doesn't sing. And then 24 swords appear in his face, and a meme is born. Hard cut. He's singing and dancing about, and he's talking about having an island and being rich. Rapunzel gets a verse and wants to see the lanterns. This scene reminds me of the bar scene in Pete's Dragon a little. The old-timey police show up, and one burly guy in the bar shows them an escape hatch and says, "Follow your dreams." Ryder says, "Thanks." He says, "No, not you. Your dreams stink." And Ryder and Rapunzel escape. The angry horse shows up. It shows the police the secret passage. Ryder's henchmen knock out the guards now, and now they want the crown and to make Ryder pay for his betrayal. Ryder is charming, and they are nailing this character. He's asking questions about Rapunzel, why she hasn't seen the lanterns before, and why they're such a big deal to her. But the soldiers are hot on their trail now. He says, "They don't like me." Then the henchmen appear. "Who are they?" "They don't like me either." The horse shows up, and he goes, "Let's just assume from here on in that no one likes me." That's good stuff. Flynn beats up the soldiers with a frying pan, then fights the horse and drops the pan. Now his ex-henchmen try to kill him, but he and Rapunzel escape, and the dam breaks, and the water is going everywhere, and they get trapped in a cave, and the water is rising, and my eyes twitch, and I fight off the flashbacks. The water stops rising. They're up to their shoulders and trapped in a dark cave. It's too dark to find their way out. He comes clean and says, "My real name is Eugene." She trumps him and confesses that, she has magic hair that glows when she sings. She sings and the hair glows. They pick the rocks beneath the surface that they can see now because of the light until they dig themselves out and escape. Mother Gothel runs into Flynn's ex-henchman and tosses them the crown and the satchel and tells them she has something worth 100 crowns and comes with revenge on Flynn Rider. Rapunzel wraps her hair around Ryder's injured hand and sings, and it glows and heals his hand. Their awkward flirting is done really well. She tells him people have been trying to cut her hair since she was a baby, and that's why she needs to be protected and never leave the tower. How does Rapunzel have black eyebrows? Eugene tells his backstory. He got his name from a book he used to read the younger kids at the orphanage. She says she likes Eugene better than Flynn Rider, and he says, "Well, you'd be the first." Uh-oh, Mother Gothel found them, claiming she just listened to the sound of, quote, "complete and utter betrayal," and followed that. Money line. Rapunzel says she thinks Ryder likes her, and Gothel says she's stupid and there's nothing to like. Oof. She stands up to Gothel, and Gothel breaks into song. She gives Rapunzel the crown and says, "Here, give him the crown and see if he stays after he has it." Wow. Check. Mate. Good stuff. Ryder comes back with firewood. Now in the bushes, Gothel waits with his henchmen that Flynn betrayed. It's morning. Flynn wakes up to horse snot dripping on his face. The horse tries to kill Flynn again. Rapunzel gets in his way and stops him. The horse animation is great as well. His body language is like a dog. It's very rewarding. They make it to the village, and she sees the elaborate art of her as a baby. That's got to be trippy. We get the iconic sun on the purple art. Ryder and Rapunzel dance while the town cheers. Guess there's no wanted posters here. Flynn takes her out on a boat at night for the lantern moment, and this is all excellent. This is a Disney moment. She says she's dreamt of this moment for 18 years and wonders, what if it's not as good as she's built it up to be? Or what if it is? And he replies, that's good, that she can get a new dream. The sad king and queen open the double doors with the sun symbol and release the lantern into the sky as thousands of other lanterns across the town float up. In the boat, we get Tangled's slow song as we see the lanterns float into the sky. Like Coco, this movie is smashing into my top 5. This scene is one of the best Disney moments I've seen. On the boat, the sky is a wash of lantern lights. She gives them the crown, and they release their lanterns, and they almost kiss. But he sees his henchmen waiting for them on the banks, so he gets to the shore and is like, everything's fine, there's just something I need to take care of, and I'll be right back. And he leaves with the crown, and she's like, okay. He meets up with the duo and he throws them the crown, but they don't want the crown anymore. They want Rapunzel. Rapunzel sees the silhouette approaching, and it's foggy, but then it splits into two, and it's not Flynn, it's the bad henchman duo. They want her hair, and they point out how Eugene split, and she sees him boating away, and she runs away, and Gothel intercepts her and is like, come with me, I'll save you. She's all confused and runs into her mom's arms. You were right about everything. The boat arrives at the shore, and we see that Eugene was actually unconscious and tied to the wheel. He didn't betray Rapunzel. He has the crown, though, and the guards are like, there he is. And now he's in the dungeon where the guards are going to execute him. Back in the tower, Rapunzel is sad because Mom was right. The world is dark and selfish and cruel. And if it finds even the smallest ray of sunshine, it's going to destroy it. Again, not wrong. She looks at her purple cloth with the sun and notices the same sun image on her ceiling art, and everything suddenly makes sense to her. She's the missing princess. Ryder's being led to his death. The music is picking up. Gothel is like, what's wrong up there? And Rapunzel says, I'm the lost princess, aren't I? And she's like, it was you. Everything I did was to protect you, Rapunzel. I spent my life hiding from people when I should have been hiding from you, she throws back in Goffel's face. She says, Flynn is being hanged, and she says, no, you were wrong about the world. No, she really wasn't Rapunzel. She pushes Goffel, and a mirror breaks, and she says, fine, I'm the bad guy. On the way to the gallows, the brutes from the bar intercept and jump the soldiers to save Flynn. There's some great action and comedy in this scene. Ryder escapes and ends up on Max. Max is the horse, by the way. Max brought them all there to save Flynn. Just fantastic animation of Max jumping from roof to roof with Flynn on his back. Oh my goodness. He gets to the tower and yells for Rapunzel to let down her hair. There it is. There's a pause and I'm worried, but then the hair finally drops. He climbs up the hair, gets inside. Rapunzel is tied to a chair. Goffel stabs him in the side. Horrified, Rapunzel says she promises not to ever run away from her mom again if she lets her heal Flynn, and Mom agrees. Flynn says, I can't let you do that. It's your freedom. She says, I can't let you die. This has some weight. She goes to heal him, and he takes a shard of glass and cuts off her long hair with one amazing strike. Her hair goes brown. Goffel gets old and falls off the tower and hits the ground with an uncomfortable thud like Marky Mark in the movie Fear. Remember that death scene? How uncomfortable was that? Now she can't heal Flynn, and she has punk rock hair. Like the Glass Tiger song, he just died in her arms tonight. She cries on him, and her tears are also magic. It heals his wounds. He wakes up and says, how did you know I have a thing for brunettes? They mack on each other hard, and we see the guard burst into the king and queen's quarters and does this, like, nod, and there's some dust in my eye in this room. That subtle moment is so good. King and the queen come outside to meet their missing daughter after 18 years. I love how Disney movies can have separate levels for kids and adults in the same movie. We wrap it up with classic 80s. Here's what happened to all the characters extra. Rapunzel was a princess worth waiting for. Gentlemen, there's a line to remember. Did he and Rapunzel ever get married after years and years of asking? He finally said yes. Great. Just kidding. He asked her. Don't take that away. That was a perfect ending. Fun credits over different animation styles, stills. That was a near perfect movie. You don't notice how dated the 90s hits are until you watch movies like this. Mandy Moore was Rapunzel. Everything. Just home run. Everything I knew about VHS were a lie. This is better. Watching these new ones are an absolute trip. Back to 2019, the last day of our last trip. We gave our son all our extra snack credits. I told him to go on a food tour of World Showcase, try a specialty snack from each pavilion, and rate it. Here he is at the Germany Pavilion eating some apple strudel.
Germany, the apple strudel. We were gonna get a pretzel, but they didn't count as a snack.
That's for you, Grandma. What do you think?
It's pretty good.
You gotta pay a price.
7.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal